said that one of his seeds shall make bread. If you ever have a problem that you can't solve, get Jah involved. And if the road is rocky and too hard to drive, get Jah involved. And if you're feeling weak and you need some strength, get Jah involved. Remember, he's the one, he's the omnipotent. Get Jah involved. He's the wind, he is the rain, he is the sun, he is the sun. Who is like unto Jah?
Are hungry? Come to Cooley Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooley Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Western Union is here for you. Available 24/7 every day. The Western Union app and website gives you the option of sending money from the comfort of your home straight to your loved ones. With Western Union, you can send money to banks in Jamaica, including Scotiabank, National Commercial Bank, First Global Bank, and more. Tell your receiver in Jamaica to register their bank account at the nearest Western Union location and receive funds directly into their bank accounts. Get fast and convenient service when you download the Western Union mobile app or go online at wu.com. For more information, visit wu.com or call 718-801-9370. That's 718-801-9370. Services may be provided by Western Union Financial Services Incorporated, NMLS number 906983, and or Western Union International Services LLC, NLMS number 906985, which are licensed as money transmitters by the New York State Department of Financial Services. See terms and conditions for details.
Good evening to you, and you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope you didn't think I would not be here, but I am. I am your host, producer, and presenter, Lady D, Denise Gomez. Welcome to Inside the Zone with Lady D, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Hashtag host Lady D, hashtag ITC Radio, hashtag community life. Email me at insidethezonelyc@gmail.com. Log on to my Facebook page, Lady D Denise Gomez. I also have my Inside of the Zone Facebook page. Instagram, Lady D Denise Gomez. This evening's feature of the Monday Drive, the Monday Beat, voices, music, a Jamaica ting, and keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. This is the Monday Drive, where you walk, drive, and reside. I am Jamaican, with the show that has the Caribbean theme. The Caribbean theme. Community life. And for people across the Caribbean and the world at large. The world at large. Broadcast on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM. Inside the Zone, my YouTube channel. Sign FM 88.9. It is Monday. Welcome to my show this evening. Brought to you by Corey's Eats, 3762 Boston Road. Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. It is Memorial Day. What have you been doing? What have you done? What are you thinking of doing for later? I know the gatherings are not happening unless you're sneaking away to do something of some kind. But I remind you to be careful. Coming up is the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here. It's Calypso Monday. Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Dr. Sophia Mattis. She joins me this evening at 5:30 to discuss her book, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith. And a Jamaica ting, I have some sayings for you. And those of you who are non-Jamaicans and you want to catch something, this is the place to do it. 20 minutes after 5 o'clock. Gotta go with so much to do in so little time. I will be here with you until what time again? 7 o'clock. It is now time for the Monday Beat. I start off with the Mighty Sparrow. It's Calypso Monday.
Well, it's Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. That your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over. Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. Bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over now. Well, the girls in town feeling bad. No more Yankees in Trinidad. They're gonna close down the base for good. Them girls have to make out how they could. Hey, brother, it's now they park up in town. In for a penny and in for a pound. Believe me, it's competition. So travel in the town when the price drop low. So when you bounce up Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. That's your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over. Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. Bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over now. Things bad to hear them cry. Not a sailor in tongue, the night clubs dry. Only West Indians like me or you go in to get a drink or two. Brother, if we have things back in control, I seeking revenge in the heart and soul. When I spread this news around, it's to see how them cavemen come in the tongue. Just to meet Miss Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. But your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over. Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing. Bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a run. The Yankees gonna Sparrow take over now. It's the Glamour Boys again. We are going to rule Port of Spain. No more Yankee to spoil the fete. Dorothy had to take where she get. All of them who used to make style, taking 2 shillings with a smile. No more hotel to rest your head. By the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt Scarlet Sparrow take over. Jean and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina. Round the corner coast, back to life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broke, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a wrong. The Yankees Scarlet Sparrow take over now. The lizard run up she's foot and it
Yeah, that's the voice of the mighty Sparrow starting off the Calypso Monday here in the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Hello to you, those of you who are stopping by Corey's Eats, 3762 Boston Road in the Bronx. Call them 347-947-9200. My name is Lady D. Denise Gomez. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. If you'd like to listen on your phones, the number is 641-552-8206. 641-552-8206. It's Calypso Monday. I have so much to do, so little time. At 5:30 p.m., I will be talking with Dr. Sophia Mattis, and we will be talking about her book. Yes, she has written a book, and I spent the time to read and to garner most of her thoughts that she has penned so eloquently and with a lot of inspiration behind it. And I'm sure those persons who have already purchased her book and those who, after you hear the interview this evening, you'll say, I need to get a copy. So don't go anywhere. You stay with me because we're going to be talking about Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith. The faith. You have faith? Or you just heard about it and you're simply walking blindly? You know, blindly, you don't know what you're doing. 104.5, 101.7, more music, 5:26 p.m. It is Calypso Monday.
Somewhere up in Laventille, many years ago, a man had a hammer, used to follow him to and fro. He used to use it to pound a pan, or sometimes a stupid man, all in the savannah, never missed panorama. One day the old hammer just disappeared. Oh, oh, oh. Some say that he vanished into thin air. I bet the man with the hammer gone. Tell me where he gone. Anybody know where the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Can you tell me what's going on? Tell me where he gone. Anybody know where the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon,
Good
Lady
afternoon.
D.
Yes. All right, stay on the line.
It's Dr. Mattis.
Yeah, that's fine. Stay on the line. Don't go anywhere.
The dragon don't walk the trail no more. From April of 85, Hammer went to sleep. After years of making noise, not even a beat. He used to move with the dragon man, all through the soca land. Always on the scene, they used to control the Baba Green. But the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Who holding the hammer, I want to know. I where the man with the hammer gone. Tell me where he gone. Thunderbolt Williams, what's going on? Tell me where he gone. You sting like a police boot on the con. Tell me where he gone. And now I hear by biting the man born. Tell me where he gone. Children, search under your bed. All up on your head. Look behind the door.
Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking.
Trade no more. Well, the drug and
Coming up in 1 minute, Dr. Sophia Mattis,
trade no more.
Christianity 101, the ABCs and 123s of the Christian faith.
Don't walk the trade no more.
25 minutes after 5 o'clock.
Walk the trade no more. Shallow. Well, the drug and don't walk the trade no more.
It is Memorial Day. Did I just say 25 minutes after 5? It is 5:30 and I open the phone line and I say, hello, Dr. Mattis, how are you?
I'm doing well, Lady D. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you.
to
How are you?
I'm good, on time, here, ready to talk to you. How has your Memorial Day been going?
It's been well. I can't complain. I went out and just remembered the vets with a couple of friends of mine as they lowered the flag. And I just want to say to all the vets, thank you so much. Everyone serving in the military, thank you so much for your service.
Oh, wonderful. This is not your first time to my platform, so I would like to say hello to you and those who are listening this afternoon. Welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And this evening, I am having a conversation with Dr. Mattis because she has a book, and the book is titled Christianity 101, the ABCs and 123s of the faith. And certainly, if you have some concerns about what am I supposed to believe, who do I talk to, what do I do, am I getting what I need where I am, is there something that's not sitting well with me? Well, Dr. Mattis has some information for you this evening, and we're going to be talking about Christianity 101 and, of course, the ABCs and 123s. I just like that title. And so I'd like you to say hi to my guest before we start, because we have to maximize on our time.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, wherever you're logging in from. God bless you all. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Lady D's program here today and listening to this segment of The Voices. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you learn a lot today as you listen in.
Oh, wonderful. I'd like to say congrats on your book. I'm sure it has been a success, and it is very inspiring. I went through the pages as much as I could, and I realized that you had a theme, but the theme is not in the natural. The theme is in the spiritual, and that's what I, acknowledged when I read the book. So let's start talking. As the author, what was your first response when the thought came to your mind to write this book?
Well, honestly, the first notion of writing a book didn't really evoke any sort of feeling, because I've written so many books. They're not published as yet, but I have several manuscripts, and I've been writing for years and years and years, but I've just never published anything. But what did evoke a response in me is when I heard the Holy Spirit say, publish this book, put it in a book. And I said, put it in a book? This book, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 123s of the faith, actually was a lecture series that I did. And when I completed the lecture, and, by the grace of God, so many people just gave wonderful feedback, and they were saying, when is part 2 coming? And I said, I don't know. And after that teaching, I heard the Holy Spirit say, put it in a book. And I said, but Lord, this is the last of all of the teachings I've done. What about all the other books, all the other manuscripts? And all I heard was, put it in a book. And so I said, okay, here we go. And I started.
And it's good to be obedient, isn't it?
Yes, it
You
is.
can't beat that.
Yes, it is.
Can't beat that.
Yes, it
So, pretty much you've given us quite an introduction, but I would say that you experienced an encounter with the Lord leading up to writing the book, right? And I quote for you, God started a massive download in my spirit. And so I'd like you to elaborate further on that. What was that massive download like? Not just a conversation, but you must have felt something.
And, Lady D, I did. It's something that I've gotten used to, and I'm still honored and humbled every time the Lord speaks to me and starts what I call a download. And a download means the Spirit of the Lord just gives me basically everything to write. And it's a quick sort of speaking. And so here I am, whenever I get, the voice of the Lord telling me, okay, write this, say this, address this. And, I'll grab a piece of paper and pen, and here I go, scribbling as quickly as I can. Or if I have my laptop, just typing as fast as I can. And of course, the Lord knows, Holy Spirit knows how fast I can go. So, but it's like an adrenaline rush, just getting all of this information. I'm saying, wow, I'm like, okay, God, okay. And I'm just typing. And I'm literally listening and just typing, listening and typing. So, yeah.
Oh, and that was it. Because, we have a limited time. So I'm trying to capture as much as I can from you for our readers. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. My guest this evening is Dr. Sophia Mattis. She has written a book, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith. Now, the central truth in your book is the Holy Spirit's role in the life of the new believer, as well as you put it, the staunch Christian. Of the 25 chapters, because I started scrolling through to see how much reading am I going to be doing. And I realized you have 25 chapters with 200 and something pages. But separate and apart from that, most authors, after they have completed or during the process of writing, there is something that resonates from a particular chapter with them. Which impacted you the most?
This question is really difficult for me, because for me, every time I hear the Holy Spirit speak, everything is so profound. Everything it moves me. It was hard for me to say, oh, I wonder which chapter I like the best. But, thinking about it now, I would probably say chapter 3, if I really had to pinpoint one chapter. And that's the chapter entitled Prayer and Praying. And the reason that chapter I would, choose and probably say that was the most profound chapter is because prayer, in essence, is communication with God.
Right.
And what I found throughout my time in the faith is that most people, the new Christian or the new believer, as well as the seasoned Christian and the seasoned believer, oftentimes say to me, I don't know how to pray. What is prayer? Well, the seasoned Christian will a lot of times say, I don't know how to pray. I don't pray well like everyone else. And then the new Christian or the new believer will say, I don't know how to pray. What do I do with that? And so I find there tends to be a lot of confusion, because sometimes I hear things like, well, I hear I'm supposed to cover my head. I hear I'm supposed to kneel down or light a candle. So it becomes very ritualistic. And I have to step back and say, okay, no. Prayer is simply communicating with God. Just as you and I, Lady D, are having a conversation, I try to emphasize that, make it as simple as possible. And the key thing that I want to point out with prayer and praying is that communication, as we know, is vital for all successful relationships. Okay? And we know that wars have been started, divorces have occurred, and fights, and all things that are negative have started due to a lack of communication or poor communication. So communication is essential, and that is what prayer is. It is a communication with God. So it's important that the Christian knows that you must continually communicate with God. So I think I would probably point out chapter 3, prayer and praying.
You know, when I think someone wants to say hi or something, because there's a call that keeps popping up, and so I'll make the attempt to answer and see who is on the line. Good afternoon to you. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi. I was calling in for the segment with Dr. Sophie.
Yes, she's on the line. She's actually talking to me on the line. Would you like to say hello to her?
Oh no, I just wanted to listen.
Okay. Okay, so you just go on to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Go to my Did she send you a link?
Yes.
Yes, so just click on the link and you'll see it live.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, continuing with our discussion, Christianity 101, the ABCs, and 1, 2, 3s of the faith, written by Dr. Sophia Mattis. So 20 minutes now to 6 o'clock. I'd like to find out, can I just add though, Sophia, that while I was reading it, chapter 3, I said, but chapter 3 is the book. In my notes, I said, but chapter 3 is really the book. In addition to that, I also thought that this is a very good devotional because you have literally written out, not only have you just quoted the scripture verse, but it's all written out there. So as your readers are reading, the scriptures are there and they're able to, you know, it resonates, it's simple, anybody can read it. It's a very simple, simplified way of learning and understanding from your, you know, perspective how this works. Let's see if somebody wants to talk to you. I don't know. Good afternoon. Hello? All right. Keep the conversation going. So that would be my takeaway.
Okay. I think, Lady D, what's happening, sorry about that, when I sent out the link, there's a number attached, and I think several individuals may be having an issue trying to open the link.
They're dialing, but they're not
so
looking
they're calling.
they're not paying attention to the actual YouTube link that's in there. They need to click on the YouTube link, not the telephone line. So they're clicking on the telephone number and not the actual YouTube link number. So that's what happens there. All right. But I have to say to you that, you know, I think God really poured into you and the book is good. And finally, how does the believer commit to total surrender to the Holy Spirit? Because everybody wants and yearns for some kind of encounter. They just don't know the 1, 2, 3s.
Right. Well, for me, one of the things that I like to tell anyone who has, you know, a question about how do I commit myself totally, wholeheartedly to the Holy Spirit is I tell them, you know, basically everything in life starts with a thought, and thoughts become actions. And a thought is a meditation. And so, you know, some have said that where the mind goes, the man follows, right? So whatever you're meditating on, whatever you're thinking on, eventually you'll follow that footstep. And the first step for the believer who wants to commit to total surrender to the Holy Spirit is to make up in their mind that what matters most is they should love God with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their mind. And that's the first and the greatest of the commandments. And the second is similar. It says to love thy neighbor as thyself. That comes from Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 to 40. And on those two commandments hang all the law and the precepts. And then after they meditate on that and just continually keep that in mind, that I have to love God with all my heart, my mind, and my soul, then they do both of those things on purpose, meaning love the Lord wholeheartedly, follow his commandments, follow his ways, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself. And that's one of the advice that I would give.
Oh, wonderful. Dr. Sophia Mattis, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith. Again, I believe that God had a role, He had a hand, He's instrumental, He's all encompassing. He does what He does with whom He chooses, why He wants it that way. And when we are obedient, then He takes it from there. All we have to do, we're just the conduits. He's just moving, right? And so I believe persons, when you get this book, you will love it. Could you go ahead and tell them how they can get the book?
Okay, so the book is on Amazon. They can log on to Amazon.com and either type in the entire name of the book, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith, or they can simply type in my name, Sophia Mattis, and the book will pop up and they can purchase it there. So I do have the ebook available for those who have the reader. I also have the physical book available. And Lady D, I just want to point out a few things about this book. I did make the font, so the print in the book, large, okay, on purpose for those who are reading a lot and they, many people are older. So it makes it easy on the eyes, including for myself. And two, I've intentionally made the spaces between each sentence extremely wide so that they can take notes, okay, if they want to. So when they see the book, if they get the physical book, they'll see the font is about a 14 point and there's a lot of spacing. And one thing I do ask everyone, if they can, if they buy a book, please write a review on Amazon if possible, okay, because that helps to highlight the book. And two, if you can, to purchase another book and pay it forward, give it to someone for free. So those are the two things that I ask, just to get the word out, because so many people are in need of just the basics of the faith.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm sure that we will be hearing so much more about the book and the work that you will be doing going forward. 546, thank you, Sophia. As I say,
Thank you so
since
much,
we're
Lady D.
Jamaicans, walk good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Lady D.
And let your the people in your network know that they can go back to my channel, direct them to the link, not the telephone number, and they'll be able to watch the broadcast.
Yes, I directed them there. Everyone is telling me they're clicking the link. They can't get on, so that's why everyone is
and it
trying.
pops up. It pops up. All right. So,
Okay.
all the best.
Okay.
Take it easy, okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lady. God bless.
Yes. All righty. So, I want to say hi to everyone. That was Sophia. We were just talking about her book, Christianity 101, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the faith. Very good book. Very simple. The scriptures are there because we don't do anything outside of that. If it's non-scriptural, we can't speak into it, can we? 547, as I said, it's Memorial Monday, right? And it's not just for us. This morning, I went to bed late. I don't know. I have energy to sell. Anybody want some energy to buy? Went to bed after 2. After 2, and still I was up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Say by 8 o'clock, because I would have been up at 7, usually. 8 up, couldn't even go back to sleep. I'm like, Denise, what on earth is going on with you? But anyway, it's a good day, and I'm here to keep you company until 7 p.m. this evening with the Monday Drive. Chris Wilby joins me at 6 o'clock, and man, do we have news for you. We'll be talking up news like there is no tomorrow. So we'll be talking in our news segment, and let me just highlight for you what we have on the table. Yes, Pat, certainly we're wishing her success with her book. So in our news piece this afternoon, we'll be talking about the price gorging in COVID-19, unregulated ambulance services in Jamaica, children under the age of 1 in the Caribbean are at risk of contracting diseases like diphtheria, measles, and polio because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's quite the conversation this afternoon. I'm asking you to stay with me and let's have that conversation. How about that? I'd also like to quickly get into Memorial Day, just to read a very short snippet of Memorial Day for you, and then I'm merging into a Jamaica thing, okay? And so I want you to just remember a little bit about what's going on today, reminding you rather. Memorial Day is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military. Memorial Day, you know, sometimes we just love gadgets and they work at their own pace. Memorial Day 2020 occurs on Monday, May 25, and that is today. It's 5:49 p.m. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. Unofficially, it marks the beginning of the summer season. So if you have a family who is a vet, we want to say, you know, we know it's difficult. Perhaps you have family members who have died in, you know, the battle and so on. We just want to let you know that once they have the heart to sign up, they have made a sacrifice. I was saying to my aunt this morning that anything that you want to accomplish, you have to sacrifice to see that accomplishment come to fruition. So if you're planting an orange, you have to plant the seed. The seed, it has to germinate. You have to nurture it. It has to die, right? And the same thing, when they're going off, when they enlist, they know what they're signing up for. And, you know, they serve anyway. So we want to say, thank you, thank you, thank you for serving. 5:51 p.m., I feel like taking a trip to Yard. I don't know who want to come with me. And Yard, by the way, if you do not know, Yard is where we call Jamaica. Perhaps you call Yard where you're from, but we know that our Yard is from Jamaica. Isn't that true? And so I'd like to take you there with me for a quick journey into some of our sayings. How about that? Reminding you, the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Stay with me.
It's a land of special people, a place where champions grow, a magical vibe, so much more than you will ever know. Can't ignore the music, reggae so profound. And when it comes to the track, you know that Jamaica won't back down. On top of the world, we're more than just an island in the sun. A great nation, by Marley say, welcome everyone to Jamaica, sweet Jamaica.
Good afternoon. Hello.
I'm sorry.
Jamaica, sweet Jamaica, come seek the island's treasure. Welcome to Jamaica. Don't you ever forget that we're coming from afar, but now we climb to the top. Oh my God, so proud of who we are. No, 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 nobody can shake us. No, 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 nobody can break us. We're rooted and grounded, protected by God. Heaven knows we are.
I would say the same thing. We're rooted and grounded, protected by God. Some patois phrases for you on a Monday. Anybody good at patois? Some of us don't like to speak it, but some of us are, you know, we do it interchangeably and we do it very well. We can just sail up into the Queen's English and then we just come back down so. Just like that. Lordy. Just like that, and we come back down. Let me see if someone is on the line. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Hi, I was calling to listen in on your show today.
Were you calling to listen to the interview with?
Yes.
I don't know. I, you all perhaps were not paying much attention. The telephone number that's there was not for you to call in. It's not for you to listen in. The YouTube link is right there. You just tap the YouTube link, which is above the telephone number. When the page comes up, you tap into the center of the page and you would be live. So I'm not sure, because I did it. That's a link that I send out all the time, and it works. So I'm not sure what happened there, while you were all...
Okay.
Yes. So the segment has ended, but at the end of my broadcast, you will be able to go back and listen and watch, okay? Sorry you missed it earlier. You're welcome. Okay, bye-bye. All right. Sometimes you just have to clarify for people, and that's quite all right.
Comes to the track, you know that.
5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go for Chris Wilby to come in and join me and we talk. But let's talk about some Jamaican patois phrases. And you'll know them. You'll know them, but not everybody knows them. So I'm here to kind of bring you into the know or bring you up to speed, as we like to say, right? So bring you up to speed. Small up yourself. What does when you hear small up yourself, what that reminds you of? Seriously. Small up yourself. From I was a child, they're telling me to small up myself. For a very good reason. Anybody know what that is? Call me. 914-600-4228. Small up yourself. You can call me, 914-600-4228. Small up yourself. So that's the first one. I won't even bother give the explanation for it. I'll just move to the next one. And I'll keep going. Me soon come. Me soon come. Somebody a call out to you. Me soon come. This Jamaican expression means literally, I'll be right there. However, if you're told me soon come, don't be fooled. Island time is much slower than the rest of the world, and this expression should be interpreted as meaning anything from a few hours to a few days. So true. Anybody say, me soon come and you see them until hours later, or they totally forget you, and then when you see them, you say, oh, so you're not come yet. Lord of mercy, when you put it into perspective. And then, you ever meet somebody and then say, so what you are say? And you say, me not say nothing, right? Literally translated as, what are you saying? But actually meaning, how are you doing? For example, what you say? Me day try a thing, and it's just nice and colorful, wouldn't you say? I think so. It's a Jamaica thing. In a demaros, a lot of us like to say that. In a demaros, especially when you feel airy and you gel with the people who you're talking to. Some people you can't talk to them like that because they look at you like strange. Because some of us don't like the patois thing, A whole lot of people will tell you, you talk bad, you talk too bad. And talk bad has its place, right? You're home, you chat with the people you know and stuff, but when you're in certain settings, it don't fit. But it don't mean you mustn't talk your patois. And so some of us know, so they don't want to hear the word, they just think it sounds crass and rude, right? But in a demaros, used when saying goodbye, right? So like see you tomorrow, or meaning see you later. Duppy Conqueror, oh dear, long time I don't hear this one. Bob Marley sang about them in Duppy Conqueror, and Ian Fleming mentions them in Live and Let Die. In a land where superstition reigns by day and duppies, which are spirits, haunt by night, religion is more than just saying your prayers. Before you go to bed in Jamaica, this expression implies a fearless person overcoming obstacles and difficulties. The literal translation is ghost conqueror. That's what we're talking about. Mashup. Mashup can mean anything. You ever see somebody when... right? Like you grew up with people and you don't see them for years, and then you see somebody and they say, you did see Mary Jane, boy, she look mash up in. She not look like when she did. And them start and they go off. And maybe you join into the whole conversation and say, yeah, you know, me did see her. Boy, me no know, it look like time hard with her. Mash up. Okay? All right. So you have that. And then we go to bless up. Anybody ever bless you up? Bless up, bless up. Religion peppers all aspects of Jamaican life, and wishing people a good day is often done by using the expression bless up. Blessings can also be used. Okay? Wagwan. Wagwan. This is probably the most well-known Jamaican greeting and was even used by U.S. President Barack Obama during his inaugural visit to Jamaica. Wagwan is a casual greeting to inquire how somebody is or what's up. Okay? Medea, you know. Medea, you know. And I like that one. I truly, truly like that one. Good afternoon.
Big up yourself, Lady D. Where is it?
Wagwan.
There.
Chuck, Chris, boy, Mr. Chris, baby, I love you, I love you. We're there. I tell you, we really colorful.
Right.
We colorful, you know, Chris.
Right, I tell you, hey, listen, it's the culture, and I love the culture, you know. And wherever I go, it is something that, for me personally, it draws me closer to people. Because if I go somewhere and I hear a Jamaican speaking, when I'm outside of Jamaica and I hear a Jamaican speaking, it makes me just feel at home, you know? Yeah, and sometimes you want to go and introduce yourself to the person, even though you don't know the person from Adam. You know, you want to go over and say, yard you come from, which part of yard you come from. You know, start a conversation. So it's a language. It's something that brings us together. And I often say it is something that we should be proud of. You know, I know that some people, they try to shed the link to Jamaica. They leave Jamaica and they do everything to scrub themselves of the homeland. Me, I am the opposite. I try to live and survive elsewhere, and I try to learn the culture and adapt and all of that. But I am a born Jamaican.
Absolutely, sir. So
man.
we greet each other well.
Let's say it wrong. Me a born Jamaican.
Or you can use the instead of the JA, you can say JU.
Jamaican. You see it? anyway, lady, me there.
Lordy, be glad.
In translation, it means I am here.
Absolutely. Be glad you come.
You see it?
So, how has the Memorial Day been, Chris?
I am here taking it easy. You notice I call on the dot because I couldn't wait to call in. So I didn't. It was one of the days when I am running around like a chicken without a head. So I was waiting. I was listening and waiting for 6 o'clock to boom. So
wonderful.
I am here and ready to go.
You made it. All right. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Mondays here inside the zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. My guest, Chris Wilby, is, well, your past guest now. What do I call you? My co-host.
Co-host.
My co-host. Me only did one sound stocious. My co-host.
Yes, what I'm asking.
My co-host, Chris Wilby, is online with me, and this is how we start our program. start talking. Chris, the news,
Yes,
the
Lady
news
D, good
concern.
afternoon again.
I tell you, the news concerning the unregulated ambulance services caught my attention big time.
Yes.
Caught my attention big time. So I'll allow you, as always, to start off reading our first headline. You know.
Yes, I want to say good afternoon once again to you, Lady D, and all the listeners. This afternoon we have quite a few headlines that we want to see if we can go through. And as we are still battling COVID, I hope that everybody is keeping safe and doing what we can do, Yeah, so most of our stories is surrounded, what I would say, is related to health as we are, in that period right now, we want to focus a lot on that.
Right.
So there is one that, as Lady D says, that caught our attention. And this one is coming out of Jamaica. I'm going to read from the Jamaica Gleaner. It says here, help or hurt unregulated ambulance services. Uncertified emergency technicians could be putting public in danger. 3 weeks after a probe revealed that most local private hospitals were unregistered, the Sunday Gleaner has learned the island's private ambulance service is operating without oversight, putting members of the public at risk. When contacted last Wednesday, Dunstan Brand, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, said he needed to run some checks. He later reported that he was, quote, not aware of any legislative framework that supervises their, meaning the private ambulances operations, end quote. Basil Ferguson, an emergency medical technician, EMT, based at the University of the West Indies, UA Mona, told the Sunday Gleaner that apart from the initial application process, there are no accountability checks. He said there's a form that will tell you what needs to be on the vehicle. They will come in, do the inspection, and based on that, you will get an approval letter. You can take that to the insurance company to say, all right, this is no longer a bus. This is now an ambulance. After that, he said there's nothing from the ministry. It is all up to the provider at this point. Another private operator who has a 10-vehicle fleet said the oldest unit is 12 years old, but it has never been inspected by the authorities since it was approved for service over a decade ago. Responsibility for emergency medical services, EMS, falls under the Health Ministry's Emergency Disaster Management and Special Services Unit. However, repeated requests for information on the ambulance registry and oversight systems have not been answered. It's also not clear how many certified EMTs are in the country. Nonetheless, a crude search using the word ambulance turned up 14 active registered or renewed entities on the Companies Office of Jamaica's registry. EMS is a critical part of the pre-hospital care, with many medical doctors emphasizing its importance in improving a patient's chance of survival after injury or trauma. Most EMS response is at the base life-saving stage, which includes stabilization and oxygen care. Garth Richards, former president of the now dormant Jamaica Association of Emergency Medical Technicians, said that the society faces a lot of danger without guaranteed standards for the ambulance service. Most life-threatening injuries have been done pre-hospital. If you can catch those injuries and stabilize patients prior to taking them to the hospital, it saves lives, he stressed. Richards further lamented that Jamaica doesn't have any formalized system for EMT service. He said, we're just putting out ambulances. It robs the Jamaican people of a service that is essential, and that's something very critical. And the story goes on and on, Lady D.
Out of Geneva, Switzerland, several health organizations are warning that children under the age of 1 in the Caribbean are at risk of contracting diseases like diphtheria, measles, and polio because the COVID-19 pandemic is disrupting life-saving immunization services. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, said this stark warning comes from the World Health Organization, the WHO, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, ahead of the Global Vaccine Summit on June 4. On June 4, PAHO said world leaders will come together to help maintain immunization programs and mitigate the impact of the pandemic in lower-income countries. PAHO said data collected by the WHO, UNICEF, Gavi, and the Sabin Vaccine Institute indicate that the provision of routine immunization services is substantially hindered in at least 68 countries and is likely to affect approximately 80 million children under the age of 1 living in these countries. Since March 2020, routine childhood immunization services have been disrupted on a global scale that may be unprecedented since the inception of expanded programs on immunization in the 1970s, PAHO said. More than half, which is 53% of the 129 countries where data were available, reported moderate to severe disruptions or a total suspension of vaccination services during March to April 2020. Immunization is one of the most powerful and fundamental disease prevention tools in the history of public health, said Dr. Tedros Adhanom, WHO Director General. Disruption to immunization programs from the COVID-19 pandemic threatens to unwind decades of progress against vaccine-preventable diseases like measles. At the June 4 Global Vaccine Summit in London, donors will pledge their support to Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to sustain and accelerate this life-saving work in some of the most vulnerable countries, he added. From the bottom of my heart, I urge donors to fully fund the alliance. These countries, these children especially, need vaccines and they need Gavi. And the story continues.
Yes, Sadie. Student nurses detail struggles amid COVID-19. Student nurses and midwives from the Caribbean School of Nursing, University of Technology, UTech, Jamaica, are grateful for assistance they have received to shoulder the impact COVID-19 has had on their lives. Two student nurses from the Western Campus detail their struggles since the onset of the infectious disease for the Jamaica Observer, sharing how the assistance, which came from Member of Parliament MP for St. Andrew East Rural, Juliet Holness, Save Our Boys and Girls Foundation, various Kiwanis clubs and private donors has helped them. The donors responded to a call from Associate Professor and Head of School at CSUN, Dr. Adela Campbell, who had reached out to the students to find out their needs. The students received packages consisting of food supplies, toiletries, personal care items, and data to access the internet for their classes and final assessment. Student nurse Deandra Campbell, 32, shared that the help came at a time when she was out of a job and had no food. She said, I work at a school part-time as an assistant teacher, so now work is on pause for me. The donation came at an appropriate time because I really needed it. It's a great initiative because there are persons who literally just didn't have, let me read that again. There are persons who literally just didn't have not even sugar in their house, Campbell said. I was waiting on my final check, which never came in time. So when the package came, I literally had nothing in the house. So I was really thankful that somebody was out there willing to help us while we were going through this. She explained that she volunteered to deliver the care packages to other students who were in need. The student nurse, who is also a single mother of 2 children, shared that the setbacks which came subsequent to the onset of COVID-19 have also left her concerned about her children. She said, "It's not been easy on my son. He's a high school student in 3rd form. He hates being cooped up in the house. So I have to keep talking to him, encouraging him that it is going to be fine. I do realize it has a psychological effect on him, as he worries about things I haven't even mentioned to him. I am concerned."
Out of Castries, St. Lucia. St. Lucia on Sunday, May 24th, welcomed home nationals who were stranded overseas due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Through the ongoing repatriation process of the 151 St. Lucia's standee overseas, some arrived from Canada and Barbados. 17 nationals being repatriated from Canada arrived here shortly after 2 p.m. local time on a WestJet chartered service via Barbados. Subsequently, 59 persons will arrive aboard Disney Fantasy at Port Castries, and 73 nationals will arrive tomorrow, Monday, May 25, through Port Castries via the Royal Vision of the Seas. In accordance with health and safety protocols, officials said all frontline personnel at ports of entry will facilitate arrivals wearing the necessary personal protective equipment. It is mandatory that all returning nationals will arrive wearing face masks. Port Health Authority will spearhead the disembarkation process. Returning nationals will be immediately transported to a government-operated quarantine facility where they will be housed for a period of 14 days. The announcement stated, adding that each national will be screened upon arrival and daily while accommodated at a government-operated quarantine facility. Nationals will be tested for COVID-19 during the quarantine period should they present as symptomatic. Speaking on the ongoing repatriation process, Minister responsible for External Affairs, Sarah Flood Bourbon, noted that the coordination of these efforts have been a success only because of the full engagement of the team managing the repatriation process. And the headline continues. Okay, Chris, so we can start talking. The first one we read concerning the unregulated ambulance situation. When I read that article, I'm saying to myself, so pretty much all they ensure is that they are insured to be on the road. So in the event anything happens, but they're not operating under the proper protocols. And it's not one and two, it's several of them.
Yes.
So how now have clearly the agency responsible to oversee these? Do they have an agency? Because the Ministry of Health governs quite a number of these other sub-agencies and hospitals and, places like those where you get health care. So like we know that here EMT job, they take their job seriously, right? They are proactive. If you make a call, they're on spot and all is well and moving along. Here this can of worms has opened up now in Jamaica, telling us that there is a probe. The word probe alone tells you that there are some serious investigations going on with private hospitals and how they're running their businesses. And you're talking about people's health, people's lives.
People's lives, yes.
How you do that? There's never a dull moment.
Yeah, I read the article and it kind of sparked because the article, it was online on Facebook, and there has been a debate, about, the government and what the government is doing about it and all of that. Now, this has been happening for decades. This is something that started last week or last year. It has been happening from the existence of time, if you will. Jamaica, we have never really had a regulated ambulance
service
industry or an EMT industry or whatever. It has always been this ad hoc service where a person decides that, some money can be made from starting an ambulance service. And if you have the resources, then you just go buy some buses, buy a couple buses, maybe you start off with one or two, and before you know it, you become a name brand ambulance service with just a driver and somebody to assist the driver. These people, they have no medical training whatsoever. All they do is respond when there is an emergency, and they go pick up the people and try to rush them to the hospital as quickly as possible. And that's it.
That can't be.
That sums up pretty much the majority of the ambulance services in Jamaica. It is appalling. And I am happy. Lady, there's something came to mind the other day, And I said, with COVID, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because it has brought to the fore a lot of problems that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that governments all over the world that will have to change in order to keep people safe and keep people alive. And this is one area where the Jamaican government is going to have to look into seriously.
Because I'm saying to myself, it has opened up a can of worms. Cans of worms. Because can you imagine now? And if you look back, when we are there and the system is in motion, you don't see the flaws until something goes wrong and it is made public. But usually you see all these vehicles plying different routes and highways and so on, and there goes an ambulance, and it have its flasher on the top, and you say, they're carrying off somebody. But on board, these people really do not have the prerequisites to function as EMTs or anything. So what happens if, while in transit, the person they pick up starts to lose consciousness or something really bad, losing oxygen, something really bad going wrong?
Yeah, there's nothing.
All happens is that they just turn up.
Rush you to the hospital.
Yeah, but and then I'm sure in a lot of instances, they just show up with and say, the person died.
Yep. I have an uncle who ended up in a situation like that years ago. While we were in Jamaica, he had an heart attack, and the ambulance They rushed him to the hospital in an ambulance, and they did nothing. I mean, there was no nurse on board and nothing. He was just in the back, and they took him there, and he had to wait outside forever. By the time he reached to the doctor, he was dead. Mm-mm. He was dead, and they were like, they're going to cover, so everybody was like, oh, he was already dead when they picked him up. So, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and I am quite sure that there are lots of stories like this all around the country because these people, they are not trained. They have no medical training whatsoever. They don't know how to test a pulse, some of them. They don't know how to do any form of vital signs. They don't know how to check anything. So they just rush. They don't even know how to pick you up properly if you are at a crash scene in order to not
cause further
hurt
damage.
You more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, nothing. They're just there and they just run and they pick you up just like any lay person. All they're doing is operating a service that with a red light flasher on top says emergency, so get out the way.
Right.
That's it.
All right, stay with me. 25 minutes after 5 o'clock. It's keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Let's start talking. Stay with me. A quick break. I'll be back.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near the Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Western Union is here for you. Available 24/7 every day. The Western Union app and website gives you the option of sending money from the comfort of your home straight to your loved ones. With Western Union, you can send money to banks in Jamaica, including Scotiabank, National Commercial Bank, First Global Bank, and more. Tell your receiver in Jamaica to register their bank account at the nearest Western Union location and receive funds directly into their bank accounts. Get fast and convenient service when you download the Western Union mobile app or go online at wu.com. For more information, visit wu.com or call 718-801-9370. That's 718-801-9370. Services may be provided by Western Union Financial Services Incorporated, NMLS number 90693, and or Western Union International Services LLC, NLMS number 906985, which are licensed as money transmitters by the New York State Department of Financial Services. See terms and conditions for details.
Stay with me. The show continues here inside the zone, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. The show is also brought to you by Corey's Eats. We deliver, powered by Uber Eats. Open Monday to Thursday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. 3762 Boston Road, Bronx, New York. Telephone 347-947-9200. Say you heard it here inside the zone with Lady D. Keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Yours truly, Lady D, alongside Chris Welby. Give us a call, 914-600-4228. Chris Welby, you're back?
I am.
Where did you go?
I have no idea. Somebody kicked me off.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were just talking about the unregulated services in operation in Jamaica with the vehicles that are being used to transport people when they need to be transported to the hospital, as well as the personnel on board who are not qualified, they're not registered to act in that capacity. And Chris was just giving a very unfortunate situation that occurred with a family member of his because they picked him up, transported him, and the wait was so long to get him to be attended to by a doctor or some medical professional there. So things do happen, and I'm kind of glad, so is Chris, that these things are kind of popping out of the can. The worms are coming out because they have to address them going forward. International standards across the world are being affected right now. And a lot of inconsistencies are, just popping up, and people are realizing we know in the U.S. that healthcare is like whatever. That is the truth. Our healthcare system is just not good. And you know that there are people who actually still go to Jamaica to have their dental services taken care of, to have their medical done, especially when they work out the equivalent between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. I know of people who do that personally. I know of somebody who did that recently. Went to Jamaica to get a quote-unquote checkup.
I like
You know,
quote unquote.
went to get their physical. As a matter of fact, the person was having some medical issues and had to go to Jamaica to have certain things sorted out. So I've had other people, you know, who lives in Florida, for example, who think about the cost of dental care, and whenever they need a dental care, the money they rationalize it this way that the money they can take a trip down to Jamaica
Yep.
and go to the dentist, and it still
don't
wouldn't
cost them.
as much as if they were here in the United States.
Yes, yes.
So it's crazy.
It's
because you
crazy.
have to have, in the United States, you have to have insurance. And sometimes these insurance, they are not cheap. And because if you do not have employment-based insurance, you are in trouble,
Absolutely.
you know? And not every
Absolutely.
employer provides insurance.
I want to say hi to Madam Bet. Madam Betty is on saying howdy do. Hi there, Bet.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Bet. What's doing? Okay.
There is one story here, Lady D, that you read that the health organization story there says children under one at risk of disease amid COVID-19.
And they highlighted them: diphtheria, measles, polio. You remember that polio outbreak?
Oh, yeah.
For polio to come back and affect children that way, that would just be devastating across the board. Any form of disease is just threatening, life-threatening.
Yeah.
You know.
And, you know, the discussion here, read the article, and I think about discussions that people are having about vaccines right now and whether or not, you know, it is good to take a vaccine, and some people are threatening to take their children out of school if the government wants to regulate vaccine to force people to mandate it, if you will, for people to get vaccinated before they are admitted in schools and stuff like that. It is a debate that is going around because there are lots of conspiracy theories out there about vaccines and what they do and what they do not do. Before I came on here, I was talking to a friend of mine. You know, we were on about an hour, but, you know, we were discussing this issue, you know, about, you know, the different theories that are out there. So, you know, I don't know, if, you know, what's your opinion on the discourse?
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I was calling for the radio show.
Yes, how may I help you?
Yes, hi. From my understanding, there was a discussion that's going to be taking place at 5:30.
Oh, yes, we did that already.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's now
Oh, my goodness, 'cause I
6:33.
called. Oh.
It's now
Okay, I'm Central
6:35.
Standard Time, and I did call an hour ago.
Okay, but you
I got a
were-
busy signal.
Oh, no. You would have had to click on the YouTube link in the notification that was sent. I realize persons were calling the phone line, but the call-in number given is for on-air discussion. But the YouTube link takes you directly to the live broadcast.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay,
You
bye-bye.
have a great day and
Same
enjoy
to
the rest
you.
of your day.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. All right. Chris Wilby?
Yes,
Yes.
keep kicking me off. I don't know what's happening
Yes.
here.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
But you're back. Right.
Don't know. I don't know where I got kicked off, so I don't know what I was saying
Oh, no,
when
you
I
were
got
just
kicked
in
off.
your opening sentence, so not to worry.
Okay, so that means I was here talking to myself. All right, it happens all the time. So no, so I'm used to it anyway.
Hush, hush. Okay.
Anyway, yes, Lady D, I was talking about um, the World Health Organization and the vaccine. Now, we grew up learning about different kinds of vaccines, and we were vaccinated at an early age in basic school in Jamaica and all of that, you know.
I'm looking at mine.
When, huh?
I'm looking at mine.
Yeah, and when you come to the United States, if you can't present you can't present your record, you know, you will not be admitted. You know, you won't get your papers and all of that. You know, so it's vaccines have been with us for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
However, I noticed that in recent years there has been a number of theories. Some people may say conspiracy theories, you know, on the internet. Hello?
Hold your thought a moment. Good afternoon. Hello? Hello? Good afternoon. All right, I saw someone calling. Continue, Chris.
So a lot of these conspiracy theories have been floating around on the internet, you know, about why they would want to vaccinate people, and even more so now the COVID-19 situation, where now they're talking about trying to develop a vaccine to combat COVID-19. Now you have people who are against vaccine, who are having more and more discussions about it, and you know, they want to use it to control you. And I see somewhere online earlier today where somebody said that if they bring this vaccine and if they mandate it, they will pull their children to school because they will not have their children
taking the vaccines.
Take the vaccine, right? You know, and there are lots of people out there with that kind of thinking. Where do you believe that idea came from, and what is it doing? How dangerous is it for our society?
It's coming out of fear. Primarily, it's fear. People fear the unknown. Because in our era, here we are today, when we heard of, like, you know, the flu pandemic and so on, we were not around at that time. So to us, it's just one of those novel things that came and went down into the archives. Now we are here, we understand. As children in the Caribbean, we were given vaccination, right?
And we weren't asked.
And we weren't asked. We were given it. And if you didn't get it, it was a problem that you didn't get it, right? But for most people, we can show you is which arm it on again, the right or the left one?
I think it's the left arm. Yeah.
So we can still show you, right, evidence of that. However, it's like the flu. A lot of people don't take the flu vaccine. Some companies make it mandatory as long as you are working in their organization, especially those people who are working in the health-related organizations, the industry, you have to get your flu shot. And if you don't get the flu shot, you can decide if you need to have the work or not. right? So for me, it's out of fear. I personally have not wrapped my head, Chris, around the fact that if they give me the vaccine, then what are the side effects? Am I going to get this and that? Because I've had to go do shots for a particular transaction. And if I didn't do the shot, it wouldn't take me to the next level. And the next level was absolutely necessary. So I had to do it. Failing that, I couldn't reach to the next level. So people will make personal decisions. A government can make something mandatory. People will tell you that they have choices whether or not they want to take it. But at some point in time, it's going to unfold that if you didn't take the thing, it's almost like when you look at scripture and how some things that you identify is being played out, and you say, boy, this only looks novel now, but it's really the pathway leading into something. So we have to just decide, how is this going to impact me? What is the relevance of it? Are they putting me, because those are the questions people are asking. Is it just to set me up for something? You know, is there something further down the road that they're preparing me for? Or is this just something that they're orchestrating? So it's a lot of fear of the unknown. That's all I can speak into it, because I don't know. I'm still here. You and I are still here. We got a vaccination when we little.
Well, guess what? That's the exact same thing. You mean, you hit the nail right on the head, what you just said right there. That's the exact same thing I said to my friend earlier, while we were having our discussion about the vaccine, because as I said, we had about an hour-long discussion before I came on air about the same thing. And that's what I said. We grew up in a country where we were not asked whether or not we wanted to participate. We were given it. I remember in basic schools, the nurses would just show up, and they used to have these long needles. I mean, and they would just come and you would end up probably sick after that afterwards. I remember I got my shots and I was sick for about a week or so, fever and all of that. But the fact is that majority of Jamaicans, we got our shots. We are here. We could not come to the United States and become a legal resident of the United States without proving that you got these shots. And anyone that you did not get, you had to arrange to get. Before your papers, you can't even send in your papers nowadays.
Right.
So, and we are here. I mean, I am half a century years old, you know what I mean? And I am still here. It doesn't, my mother is 80 years old. She got it. She's still alive. She's still, and her. So I don't know. And as you say, it's the unknown. And,
it is the fear of the unknown. It's a fear of the
advent
unknown.
And the advent of social media now that can amplify this fear.
Of course. It's just like listening. People will tell you that they don't listen news. They stop watching it, because the more you hear, it's the more you're in information overload. You feel as though you don't know which piece of the whole diagram that you need to pay attention to, because there's just so much information filtering out there. But again, if something is mandatory, we have to make a decision what the long-term goal and outcome is and will be. Because the world is changing, Chris. There are just some things that are going to take place that if you're not prepared, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you won't be able to endure it. So if this little pandemic here that has escalated and killed so many people, and we are still here, then you say, what next? So the vaccine issue, I just say, wait and see. Wait and see. Because now if they're telling us that children under 1, right, the possibility exists that there is just so much more that they think is going to happen, whether they're trying to frighten us or not. If we can't have conversations properly anymore, which is normal for human beings, right? I can barely stand up beside you because I fear if you breathe in my face, I'm going to get the coronavirus. And so I have to be wearing a mask, right? It's now becoming so ingrained in us that it's almost like a pair of shoes. If you step through the door and you leave the mask, you run back for it. Because you fear that if you're out and exposed, you're going to have a chronic situation on your hands.
You know, with the mass situation there is a discussion about whether or not it is good for anybody to be wearing a mask. And I'm gonna explain it this way, Lady B. People are saying that it is not healthy for you to wear a mask because you are breathing in the air that you're supposed to be breathing out, and vice versa. So I put it to people this way: it is not the way we were designed to live. We understand that. I do understand that. Nobody was designed to wear a mask over their face 24 hours a day, and I don't believe anybody is doing that. What I say to people is that there are times when we have to compromise. I don't know how the disease is being transmitted. I am listening to the doctors and the scientists. I'm just following what the doctors and the scientists say because I believe in science. Now, a lot of people, when they get sick and go to the doctor, they follow the directions of the doctor. However, these same people are the same people who will tell you that they will not wear a mask. But if they get sick tomorrow morning and they go to the doctor, whatever the doctor says, they will follow it because they want to live and they want to survive. First and foremost, because they want to live, they go to the doctor. So they follow what the doctor says. So, but no, the doctor is telling you that wear a mask to prevent yourself from getting sick. A lot of people don't want to wear the mask because they know they themselves have become doctors and scientists, and they are telling you what to do and how to survive and all of that. And it is not necessary.
And listen to me. It's just today a friend of mine sent me something that I read. And it was talking about intelligence and wisdom. So our intellect tells us, no matter where we pick it up from, or our calculative minds start reasoning something. Now you can reason yourself into folly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the intelligence tells us that, fine, if I have this thing and I put a mask over my face and I'm breathing it in and out, then quite likely I'll perhaps infect my own self. Right? But wisdom says, if you do not wear the mask, maintain social distancing, it is likely you will contract the virus, it will escalate into other things, and you will eventually die. They tell you when you get it, you don't have to die. But as we have come to realize, if you have issues, a whole heap of something going on in your body, it attacks it and it takes you downhill. And that is what has happened to many. So wisdom tells us that you do what you need to do to keep your survival going, as opposed to your intellect, which tells you this is nonsense. Don't wear no mask or don't keep it on all day. I cannot see the virus. That's what people keep singing. You can't see it. And I believe it has helped to the point, before I go there, so to the point where to see how we are kind of processing and it just sounding so strange. I saw a post which says, I wonder how these people who have bad breath, how they're managing now if they have to be inhaling their own bad breath. So you see where all that taking us.
Mm-hmm.
So I am on the wisdom side of things. I do what is recommended to keep me safe, because the thing is not taking me anywhere else. I am right here, so because I have managed to maintain it. And the people around me are trying to do the same thing. We're not stupid people. The thing is not pasted onto your face to the point where you can't remove it to inhale and exhale.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the fact that we're going to now be reasoning it from that angle, it not add up to me at all. It don't add up.
Yeah, people will believe. I said to someone recently that
hold your thought.
any
1 second.
kind.
Chris, hold your thought. Good afternoon. Do we have a call online? Hello? Let's see. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady D. Good
hello.
afternoon, Chris. How are you both today?
Good afternoon, madam.
We're
I'm doing
good.
fine, thank you.
All right. Happy Memorial Day to each and every one.
Yes,
Yes.
to you too.
I
Yeah,
was
same to you.
listening to the discussion and about the injection, the vaccination that we had in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
You're so correct, Chris. You know, while in school, the nurse came around with this long hypodermic needle, and before you know it, everyone was vaccinated. But, you know, Chris, at the time, there was no ulterior motive because we realized it was for health reasons. Unfortunately, now we don't know what kind of vaccination, you know, they're trying to impose on us because we see due to the coronavirus.
No, she something happened there. All right, Chris?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to hear what Pat had
I'm
to
sure
say
she'll
there
call back.
because it's a very interesting. I know where I kind of picked up where she was going. I hope she can call back in to finish her point.
Yeah.
But she started off the argument by saying we don't know, and it comes right back into what you were saying, Lady D.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the unknown. And that is what is driving a lot of these theories.
Yes.
Because we don't know. She hit the nail right on the head, right out the bat. We don't know. And I say to people, I'm not a big believer in conspiracy theories. I'm just not. Right? And I say to people, if you have to start an argument by saying, one, I think, or we don't know, or I don't know, then that's just it. It is a theory. You know what I mean? And until you can bring the facts to me, I am not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying that what you are saying is just a theory. You have no evidence to back it up. So until you can come to me with irrefutable evidence to say, here are the facts, then, I mean, it's just going to be you debating something that you yourself don't even know to be true or not.
I agree. And that's where I am. So I try not to get myself too involved in discussions of that nature, because if I have no factual basis on which you're having this discussion with me, then I can't do anything about it. Good afternoon.
And that is because even with the coronavirus.
Hold on.
I don't know if I had gotten cut off or what. I don't know.
Yeah,
you
you just dropped. The call just went.
The call dropped. Oh, okay. Yes, as I was saying, people are very mistrustful of the government right now. Nobody's going to take their word at first value, because we see, where lies are being told. So fear of the unknown is a very real aspect for some people. Now, as I was saying, I remember in Jamaica, in elementary school, when the nurse came around with the long hypodermic needle, and before you know it, everybody was injected. And on my upper left arm, I have the indication that I did receive the BCB injection.
BCB, right.
So at the time, we didn't question it, because we realized it must have been for health purposes. But now we have to question what they're going to inject us with. We don't know what, they have in that serum. So people are going to be scared. Even me myself, I don't want to take it.
Okay.
No. So,
Here's what I say, Pat. At this time, at this age, I really don't care. This is just my opinion. I really don't care. I don't care what they have in that needle. If there is something that says, look, we have to do such and such in order to survive or whatnot. Most people, when you get really sick and you go to the doctor, they don't question what the doctor is doing to save their lives.
Absolutely.
It's only when you are healthy you question a lot of these things. When you are on that deathbed and the doctor says, I am going to give you X or Y because it is going to save your life, 99.9% of the people will say, give it to me, doctor.
Yes.
So most times it's the healthy people who are questioning this, and I'm not saying we shouldn't question. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that a lot of what is happening out there, it's just as Pat says and as we say, the fear of the unknown. And there are so many theories. And now the internet has amplified that. People will just make up some stuff, throw it out there. It sounds good, and everybody runs with it.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's just like the other day when they had this thing about 5G. All of a sudden, I saw kind of videos popping up and stuff about all no.
And if you have an antenna on your house, somebody will pass and take the antenna, a picture of it, and say that you have 5G. That is how ridiculous it sounded. You know what I mean? And but the problem is that you have a slice of the population that believes in these theories. And it doesn't take much to continue the theory, because what happens is that it takes a couple of people. You may share it with 10 people, and 8 out of the 10 doesn't believe it, but 2 of that 10 believe it. And those 2 share it with another 10. And that is all. Before you know it, you have a slice of the population who adamantly believes in this kind of theory. I have no evidence, and I'm just not going to follow it.
Me too. That's how I see it. I don't pay those things no mind. When I see them, we keep moving. We have 2 minutes, so let's wrap up. Pat,
anyway,
thank you.
It was a pleasure speaking with you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Always a pleasure hearing from you, Pat.
All right. Thanks,
Likewise.
Pat.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Yes. So,
all right,
we have to, again, intelligence and wisdom.
Yes. But we're never going to get rid of it.
Not at
all.
It
is what it is. It is the world that we have to live in today. But I would say to people, just be wise. I'm not saying do not question anything. I'm not saying never question anything. Question it as much as possible. But at the same time, be smart and don't be stupid. Because if you're stupid, it can cause your own death.
I agree. Blessings, Chris Welby. We talk next Monday.
All right. Take it easy, lady. Have a great evening.
You too. All right, that's a wrap for the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. That was Chris Wilby, and I want to say thanks to my sponsors.
You are hungry? Come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Western Union is here for you. Available 24/7 every day. The Western Union app and website gives you the option of sending money from the comfort of your home straight to your loved ones. With Western Union, you can send money to banks in Jamaica, including Scotiabank, National Commercial Bank, First Global Bank, and more. Tell your receiver in Jamaica to register their bank account at the nearest Western Union location and receive funds directly into their bank accounts. Get fast and convenient service when you download the Western Union mobile app or go online at wu.com. For more information, visit wu.com or call 718-801-9370. That's 718-801-9370. Services may be provided by Western Union Financial Services Incorporated, NMLS number 906-983, and or Western Union International Services LLC, NLMS number 906-985, which are licensed as money transmitters by the New York State Department of Financial Services. See terms and conditions for details.
Sponsored by Corey's Eats, we deliver. Powered by Uber Eats, open Monday to Thursday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. 3762 Boston Road, Bronx, New York, 347-947-9200. Fried chicken, chicken patty, fried fish, rasta pasta. Thank you all for tuning in with me this afternoon. God willing, I'll be back on Thursday to do it all over again for you with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Have yourselves a wonderful Memorial Day evening. And as always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember, in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. Blessings, everyone. I'm out of here.
What to think? Because now with us, you're fully linked. Stay linked to Linkage Radio, your home for entertainment.
This station rules the nation.